flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of prayer. Thank you.
Alderman Wadwa,
Here.
Alderwoman Calderon,
Here.
Alderman Brickner,
Here.
Alderman Fire,
Here.
Alderman Damon,
Here.
Alderwoman Bliss.
Here.
The meeting has been properly posted and noticed.
Telephonic meeting participation, none. Public hearing, none. Best part of my job, presentation. Fred, front and center. Where they can take pictures, because I know at least 12 people have taken pictures. Okay, 13. And a regular meeting of the Common Council of the City of St. Francis, Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, held on the 20th day of December 2022. A quorum being present and a majority of the council voting therefore, said council does resolve as follows. Whereas Frederick Rogers began as the building custodian with the City of St. Francis, Wisconsin, Department of Public Works on September Rogers has been an asset, especially the Public Works and Police. Always went above and beyond his job diligently to keep all the duties assigned to him. And as whereas Frederick Rogers retires on January 11th, 2023, now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council, City of St. Francis, Milwaukee County, on behalf of all the residents of the city, hereby highly commend of valuable service of the City of St. Francis. Further resolved that the best wishes for health, happiness, success are hereby tendered to Frederick Rogers in all his future endeavors. Passed and approved this 20th day of December 2022. Congratulations.
You're still here? I'd like to apologize to Mark. I came in here and I said hello to a lot of people and I ignored Mark. I missed Mark. Hi, Rebecca.
Good job.
Congratulations, Shar. Sarah, never met you.
Never met you.
Lovely hair. Thanks very much, Debbie. Well,
Can we get one picture with
yes.
this in the middle, you hold it? Ish.
Okay, well, I don't,
Anything you want to say?
some people might have been waiting for this, but first of all, I'd like to thank everyone that I've worked with. Really easy. Better person for having been in this job felt good that I was her first choice. It's too bad Ralph isn't here. Special thanks to Mark, because Mark, all his infinite wisdom, saw it fit to bring me back to work full-time, which, and as well to make sure that so really, that's about it. I've got no complaints. It's been fantastic. I can manage with some of your generosity and kindness. I'm sorry this was my first council meeting in 14 years.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
But I think I set up most of them. And I'll leave it at that. Once again, thank you very much.
And if I may, I've told you this personally, but I really, really mean it. We can replace the position, but not the person.
Thank you, sir. We're going to just fly off into the sunset.
We don't blame you. Don't want to break tradition.
We'll be 12 minutes behind you. Thank you. Citizen comments. Tommy Kay. You do have a 2-minute, Max.
Oh, you're giving me two? Him two?
I give him nothing. If we're talking about Rick.
All right, Tom Kipchinsky, 3945 South Kingen Avenue. I'd like to address, I saw the news tonight, the city of Milwaukee is really trying to address the traffic problems and dangerous traffic situations. And I see that they're looking to make 4-way stops throughout the city. And I think this might be a very good idea. I'm not sure. I've got a curfew, so I don't see what we have, but I see the flashing red lights sometimes, but I'm not sure if we have 4-way stop at all intersections, like at KK and Howard, or KK, or Howard and Packard, or on Lake Drive there at Howard and Lake Drive. But I think that it would be something good to look into, and maybe wait until to see what happens with the city of Milwaukee and how that works out. Second, I see that put up some stop signs on Van Norman, or better known as Adam Chesrud Road. And I think that it's a good idea, putting up some of these stop signs. And it does make a difference. I'm suggesting that there be one put up on Kingen and Tesh, for the reason that we've got a sloping down going northbound. They come flying down the street, and they have to stop at my intersection at Kingen and Van Beck. Occasionally, sometimes it's suggested, but we've had some good rapport with the police department. Back, I think that was in 2021, I was keeping track and kind of watching for people and times and descriptions. And of course, that's a lot of times I've got my kitchen window and I'm doing dishes, and I get to see some of these incidents. This police department had some good success based upon some of the intel that I provided them, and they caught a number of perpetrators, correct? So we were quite successful. So one of the things that I'm suggesting also is that you aldermen, when you have people complaining, tell them to get information, get some intel. Makes a big difference. They can't be there all the time. Third, another one with that intersection on Kingen and Tesh, I'd like to see at the southeast corner that they put up a stop sign right at the corner on Tesh facing eastbound. There's not enough room for the space for a car to fit between the crosswalk and the driveway. Okay, it's physically impossible. Because if you, quoting 346.53, it is 15 feet from a crosswalk, 4 feet from a driveway, so that's 19 feet. You don't have enough room for 19 feet there. I've had the police department ticket number of people over the time period, but they're busy. Third shift is quite busy. They've got a number of people, and word gets around in those apartments, but then it kind of fades. The police department can always do that, and some people just park wherever they want to park. But I think a sign would be more helpful for those who just don't think and aren't aware of the rules. As I say, the police department has done good when they know what's going on and who's doing it. And so some help for them. And I think also when you start looking at budgets, look at the police department to help them out, especially with some of these things with the traffic. They need it because they're busy. They're busy. We've got a lot of things going on in this community that, besides traffic, that need, to be looked at. So thought I'd bring that up to you, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Moving on. Consent agenda. Is there any alderperson who would like anything removed?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Recommendation of action from committees, commissions, and boards. Action to be taken from the licensing committee meeting held January 17th, 2023.
Mayor, this evening we're looking for approval for a temporary Class B retailer's license for Cavalier Athletic Association Dan Chefs for their Sheep's Head Tournament and for their trivia night. Sheep's Head Tournament is on January 21st, and the trivia night is February 4th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
That's all from licensing, Mayor.
Thank you, Don. Action to be taken from the Board of Public Works meeting held January 12th, 2023.
Good evening, Mayor. I make a motion to concur with the recommendation of the Board of Public Works to approve the Milwaukee Metro Sewerage District Personal Property Infiltration and Inflow Funding Agreement and Work Plan contingent upon City Attorney review and comments.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Sean. Resolutions and ordinances, none. Discussion items with possible action. Commercial offer to purchase 2820 East Layton Avenue. Paul or Mark, do you want to?
This is a commercial offer to purchase for purchase of the listed property by KID 4. This was initially presented by staff to the council, and the consensus of the council was that we would proceed with the offer. It has been signed, but the approval is contingent upon the council's approval this evening. So if there's any questions with respect to the particular parcels, there's the principal parcel. There are two, for lack of a better term, what I would consider to be outlots. If I'm not mistaken, I think Melinda, you had indicated they were abandoned, or they had been alleyway that had been that the city had abandoned the right of way, and so there are two small parcels that are immediately to the rear of the principal property on East Layton Avenue.
Any further questions?
And just to be clear, we already own the two properties immediately to the east of this one, correct?
So we own the two properties next to Dairy Queen, DQ Dairy Queen. And there's two parcels in the rear. And then there's two homes. and then this parcel at 2820. So it's kind of is in between the animal hospital and two private lots yet. So we own everything along Layton between DQ and the animal hospital except for two residential properties. Once we acquire this property.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to, accept this offer and place on file.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Appointments to committees, commissions, and boards? None. Correspondence with possible action or referral to committees, commissions, or boards? None. Unfinished business? None. Other business? None. Department heads? Melinda?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I just want to inform everyone that the We Energies has been granted a permit for some gas main replacement over along Iowa Avenue between Howard and Norwich. I don't have a start date yet, but we will send out an email to everybody just giving some of that basic information. It's old gas main, and they just need to upgrade their infrastructure. There'll be a sister project to that along Howard Avenue, not too far distant future, and when that gets moving, we'll give everybody that information as well. And then I also just want to say Fred was just a stellar employee. I was so glad to bring him on, and I have worked with a number of custodians, and he just really took on all the challenges we ever asked him to do. During COVID, I don't think we could have survived without him doing all the extra cleaning and the setups and the spacing. He had a stick. He made a 6-foot stick and made sure we were all safe. And just pretty much anything we ever asked of him, he did, because it was all for the good of the city. And you can't ask for a better employee than that. And personally, I've gotten to know Fred, and I miss him a lot. And I'm looking forward to when he's riding his bike and he stops by and talks to us and everything. So I know he's not here, but hopefully he logs in and sees this and can hear what great things people think about him. And I'm just going to really, truly miss him. So, and with that, I pass.
Thank you. Chief Poplar?
Well, the fire department certainly extends its congratulations to Fred as well. I know we had a lot of laughs or fun times with him coming over, and we have some tools, and he would borrow and that, and it was fun to chat, so it was good. As far as the fire department, still have a lot of young firefighters that we're doing constant orientation and training with. The mild weather has enabled us to get the crews both on and off duty out to the Joint Fire Training Academy grounds. It's a perfect opportunity with no snow, and you're not getting overheated in your equipment. So we're out at the JAFTA grounds on a weekly basis. Other than that, I'm getting ready for our first order of narcotics and medications for rolling with Med 12, and that's pretty much the update I have.
Thank you. Chief Hunter?
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to say congratulations to Fred. We missed at the police department with his wisdom, his words of wisdom, his the laughs we shared together. He had a different philosophy on life, and to say the least. And some of the things he came up with were just hilarious, and will stick with us for a long time. So we hope that he comes back and visits, and I'm sure he will. This morning, our Shore Joint Tactical Unit, along with multiple other jurisdictions combined in an operation, without giving out too much detail, took down a large street gang. These indictments were in the works for a long period of time. Numerous full automatic weapons, guns, drugs. The place we hit, our team was responsible for hitting, had over $20,000 in cash inside the residence. So there were multiple. Everybody came home safe on our end, and lots of bad guys are put in jail, so the head of the snake is cut off. Hopefully it stays that way for a while. On Friday, if you did not hear, it was in the news apparently, I was not made aware of it, but we had 3 pursuits within a 5-minute time frame. All these were the Kia boys stealing vehicles, came out of Milwaukee, stole a vehicle out of Cudahy, stole a vehicle out of St. Francis. Our squads picked up one that was stolen out of St. Francis, pursued that. It was in excess of 100 miles an hour westbound on Howard Avenue, so we terminated because of the time of the day on Friday night. When that officer was returning, they found out that the squad or that car crashed on the on-ramp to 43 northbound. The subjects inside the vehicle fled, so we have some DNA and some fingerprints that we're working on now for that one. On their way back into the city, they came across a vehicle stolen out of Cudahy. They got in pursuit with that one, and at the same time, one of our other squads got in pursuit with the vehicle that was stolen out of Milwaukee that dropped the individuals off in our city. So 3 pursuits within a 5-minute time frame. I think that's kind of a record, and they were extremely busy. So they also had 6 people in custody over the weekend from one incident from a car load of individuals from the inner city of Milwaukee that were stopped for drug use and others that are being referred down to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. The Ford Explorer has been placed on Wisconsin surplus. I sent an email to all of you, so that information is set for you to share if you so choose to anybody that may be interested in it. The vehicle's in great condition. And lastly, I will be giving a conditional offer of employment to our new police officer that's been finished. The background has been finished. It's just conditional based on psychological and physical evaluation, at which point she will be a new member of the St. Francis Police Department. And with that, I pass.
Thank you. Rebecca?
Late last week, we discovered we will be having a primary for the spring election, which will contain 1 contest. It'll be a quiet election with foot traffic, but we'll have over 2,000 absentee ballots to process in the clerk's office. So February 21st is the date for that. We'll have the in-person voting 2 weeks prior. Also, on the note of Fred, it will be hard to say in a minute or two, like how when you age and you work with people over the years, certain ones just, he had a real way of knowing each person that he talked to. Everybody that he talked to was important to him, and it didn't matter if you were, whoever you were, he tailored his conversation to you, and that was a really unique trait, and he'll really be missed. That's all I've got.
Nope, you got 2 more minutes.
Oh.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would also like to echo the congratulations to Fred on his retirement. Always a pleasure in my interactions with him over the years. And with that, I pass.
Thank you. Mark?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to miss talking with Fred as well about aliens and pyramids. But he did pass the wand on to a new employee. We do have a new custodian. His name is Paul Killian. Some of you may know Paul. He has been our Christmas Santa Claus at our Christmas parade. And so Paul is our new addition here at the City of St. Francis. So if you get a chance to see Paul, welcome him to St. Francis, and I'll reserve the rest of my comments to close sessions. Thanks.
Thank you. Matt?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Also like to extend my congratulations to Fred, and just happy to get 23 off to a good start.
Thank you. Steve?
I'll pass this evening, sir.
Thank you. Don?
I will pass.
Debbie?
Oh, I too am just happy for Fred. He just is an amazing person, helpful in everything in all the years that I've been here. So I just wish him the best. A happy retirement.
Thank you. Sarah?
I'll pass this evening.
Thank you. Sean?
I'd like to congratulate Fred. In a brief conversation this evening with him, it doesn't sound like he's going to slow down much. Very much like the retirees in the room. Many of you probably were more active than you were when you were working full-time jobs. About a couple weeks ago, I contacted Melinda. There was an issue with some lights on 794 from Howard Avenue to pretty much Oklahoma Avenue. It was black. At 6:30 in the morning, traffic is not doing 50. It's doing closer to 75 on there. So it's dangerous. I reached out to the county highway department. They told me We Energies was aware of it and was not acting on it. I reached out to We Energies. They didn't respond very positively. Were more concerned about who I was and why I cared. I reached out to Melinda. Melinda, thank you very much, because your contact was able to, within 24 hours, get those lights back on, and I appreciate that. To segue off what Chief was speaking about earlier, and also what Tom was speaking of, there is an increase in activity in our area. It doesn't cost much to have a house light on. Light your yards at night. Lock your doors. Secure your belongings. Do not leave a handgun in your car. They're breaking into cars seeking handguns. That's the biggest thing they're looking for. They're not taking belongings. They're looking for guns. If you see something suspicious, as Tom said, take some information down. Help our police officers out. They can work with information. You get a plate, you get a vehicle model, you get a description, help them out. You see somebody looks suspicious, report it. We have an aging community. We need to look out for them, and we need to look out for each other. We get the word out that we're not taking this in St. Francis. They'll go somewhere else. So let's help each other out. Secure your properties.
And I reported Steve 4 times and they did nothing about it.
Well, he's kind of a big guy. He's a little imposing.
I know nothing.
Yeah, and nice seeing the three of you gentlemen and you, young man. And with that, I'll pass for the evening.
Thank you, Sean. I will piggyback on with Fred. 14 plus years here, well-earned retirement. And what I said up here, I've said numerous times, you've heard it in the office, we can replace the position, but we cannot replace the person. He did very, very well for the city, and we're very, very grateful. And with that, we're going to be going into closed session. Roll call.
We'll convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute, section 19.85E, deliberating or negotiating the investing of public funds or conducting other specified public business, which, whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. Dispatch. Roll call vote. Alderman Wadwa.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Oh, okay. Alderman Wadwa.
Aye.
Alderwoman Calderon.
Aye.
Alderman Brickner.
Aye.
Alderman Fire.
Aye.
Alderman Damon.
Aye.
Alderwoman Fliss.
Aye.
We'll be taking a 2-minute recess, and we will be convening in the West Conference Room.